I welcome you all to my session. That is very important. So, day to day, just I'm improving my session with the technological inputs as well as the emotional themes also. So, I want to share something first in Hindi, then I will decode in or translate it in English also. So, both the audiences, those are coming from core Hindi background as well as a core English background. So, my target is to connect with the global population and the brilliant minds. In Hindi, I have picked certain important points in our, and of course, my session, my aspiration is very much based on these facts, and that is very much important to share with you. In Hindi, I would like to say कुछ महत्वपूर्ण बिंदु लाइक समय का बदलाव, रिश्तों का मूल्य, स्वास्थ्य और खान पान, संपर्क के तरीके, सुख और संतोष, ये सारे हमारे ब्रेन के बेनिफिशरीज हैं और इन सब बिंदुओं मिल करके हमारे दिमाग के स्ट्रक्चर में जो भी इम्पॉर्टेंट कंपाउंड्स हैं, इम्पॉर्टेंट मॉड्यूल्स हैं, उसको तरीके से अपने तरीके से मॉडरेट करते हैं, जिसे कहते हैं माइंड थॉट प्रोसेस। तो मैं इन सब मुद्दों को लेकर बहुत ही सेंटिमेंटल हूँ, बहुत ही इमोशनल हूँ, बहुत ही साइकोलॉजिकली इंटैक्ट हूँ। जहाँ मैं मिस करता हूँ अपने मदर को, तो मैं अपने मदर के नाम से, जो इस दुनिया में नहीं है, मैं उनके नाम से एक चिट्ठी लिखा। और ये पत्र सिर्फ एक व्यक्तिगत अनुभव नहीं, बल्कि हमारे समाज की एक सच्चाई है और आपकी माँ के प्रति भी मेरी एक श्रद्धांजलि है, जो और प्रणाम है, जो जीवंत हैं और जो नहीं है वो भी जीवंत हैं, जो हमें अपने अतीत की याद दिलाती है और हमें अपने मूल्यों और संबंधों की ओर लौटने का आह्वान करती है। हे माँ, तुम कहती थी ना कि वो पगडंडी सबसे प्यारी थी, जहाँ हम तुम्हारे साथ माटी में खेला करते थे। आज वो पगडंडी खो गई है और सड़कों पर बस जाम ही जाम है। तुम्हारी गोद में जो फुर्सत का सुकून मिलता था, वो अब किसी के पास नहीं है। हर कोई काम में इतना खो गया है कि फुर्सत के नाम पर कुछ बचा ही नहीं। तुम हमेशा बुजुर्गों को सम्मान करना सिखाती थी, लेकिन आज हर बच्चा खुद को बुद्धिमान समझता है, जैसे उसे किसी की सलाह की जरूरत ही नहीं। तुम्हारे लगाए बाग बगीचों की याद आती है माँ। अब तो गमलों में ही लोग अपनी शान दिखाते हैं। घर की वो ताजगी अब कहीं गुम हो गई है। तुम मट्ठा दही बनाकर खिलाती थी, कहती थी सेहत के लिए अच्छा है, पर जब लोग उसे जुकाम की वजह बताते हैं और चाय पीते ही ताकि थोड़ी देर का आराम मिल सके। चिट्ठी पत्री का दौर भी चला गया माँ। अब व्हाट्सएप पर पैगाम आते हैं, पर वो अपनापन, वो इंतज़ार, वो तुम्हारे हाथ से लिखे हुए शब्द कहीं खो गए हैं। आज के बच्चे किताबों से झुके झुके स्कूल जाते हैं। बस्ते में सामान बहुत है, पर असल ज्ञान कहीं खो गया है। रिश्तों में भी अब वो मिठास नहीं रही। अकड़, ऐंठ और एहसान का बोझ लिए सब जी रहे हैं। सुविधाओं का ढेर तो बढ़ गया है माँ, पर मन की वो सच्ची खुशी, वो शांति, वो सुकून, वो इंसानियत कहीं गुम हो गई है। इन्हीं बातों को नाउ द सेम कंटेंट आई एम ट्रांसलेटिंग इन इंग्लिश। माई डार्लिंग मदर, you used to say that the path was the most beautiful, where we used to play in the soil with you. Today, that path is lost, and there is nothing but traffic jams on the roads. The tranquility we found in your lap is now nowhere to be found. Everyone is so caught up in work that there's hardly any time left for leisure. You always taught us to respect the elders, but today every child thinks they are wise if they don't need anyone's advice. I miss the gardens you tended, mother. Now people sow off their grandeur with just two pots. The freshness of our home has disappeared. You used to prepare buttermilk and yogurt for us, saying it is good for health, but now people blame it for colds and prefer tea for a little comfort. The era of letters has also faded, mother. Now messages come on WhatsApp, but intimacy, that anticipation, those words written by your hand have all vanished. Today's children go to school hunched over their books. Their bags are heavy with items, but true knowledge is lost somewhere. The sweetness in relationships has diminished. Everyone is living with pride, arrogance, and the burden of favors, though convenience have increased. Mother, the true happiness of the heart, the peace that solaces humanity, has gone missing somewhere. I wish we could all walk back on those paths with you, reliving these old days. So, with these statements, this is not a mere statement, it connects you heart to heart. Of course, I have started my journey on the top agency, that is brain, and I have already explained to you the foundations, how a thought process begin. That is very important. So for today's session, my topic is very clear, loud and vivid, that is human gut and CNS, central nervous system. And in addition to this, I must incorporate and bring very powerful box, that is microbiota, which is sitting in our gut. And that microbiota, let me explain to you, microbiota is a very significant powerhouse. In another way, you can say it is a parallel mindset, parallel brain sitting in our gut and complementing our mindset, and of course regulating our brain sitting on the below. And of course, microbiota releases very precious, significant biocompounds, whether you talk about the hormonal situation, talk about the endocrinal situations, talk about some other powerful biocompounds like polyphenols and other kind of the cannabinoids, of course vitamins, amino acids, and precious things are being secreted to nurture our brain and paving the path of the, you can say, for the further dissemination of the signals and the commands released by the brain. That is why today's topic is very much subtitled with the microbiota gut brain axis. If you see, and the left side gut microbiome is sitting and the right side our brain. So these both are having a kind of the interactions, very meaningful, powerful interactions in between these modules. Those are termed as the organ system. So, and eventually the ultimate outcome of these two has been very much termed as the gut brain axis. So metabolites, neurotransmitters, hormones, these three important, as a layman you need to understand these three important talkativities, means interactions are interplayed by these two powerful pockets situated in our body system. One is brain, central nervous system, another one is the gut microbiome. So how these metabolites, neurotransmitters, hormones are significant for our existence, everybody knows this. So under this particular column, you can see, you talk about the immune system, you talk about the vagus nerve, enteric nervous system, neuroendocrine system, circulatory system. After all, these are making you a kind of living being, and of course your healthy life. And of course, how come the microbiota is squeezing the mindset? That is very important, with the help of altered social behavior, autism spectrum disorder, AST, and anxiety, depressive like behaviors, physical performance and motivation, neurodegenerative diseases. So these are the known as the biological stresses. Of course, with the given inputs, unwanted inputs, when your microbiota and its ecology is getting disturbed with the unwanted stuff which we are targeting based on our taste buds, then the culture and the interactive programming of the microbiota gets disturbed. That's why the enteric nervous system that regulates our gut is often called the body's second brain. The gut, using similar chemical and cells as the brain, constantly communicates with it, influencing our feelings and perceptions of gastrointestinal symptoms and overall quality of life, according to the researcher, very important researcher, Dr. Braden Keogh. And he has derived many of the things which I have decoded in a layman language, which I am transmitting to you. Messages travel from gut to brain too. This helps explain why, when we eat something that makes us sick, we instinctively avoid the food and then the place are found it. So this is the powerful presentation before you. You can understand how you will regulate your pathways whether you talk about the metabolic pathways, neurotransmittory pathways, or the hormonal through the, you can say, signal transduction pathways. Come to the second slide, that has been very much derived or adapted from the Deborah Bradley Ruder, is a freelance medical writer, has depicted very important thing that is known as the brain and you can say microbiota gut axis system. Q and colleagues are using functional MRI to measure. In my last video, I said what is MRI, magnetic resonance imaging system. With the help of the MRI, they measured the brain activity in patients with chronic nausea, discovering that nausea and pain involving similar nerve centers, which could lead to improved treatment plans to and enhanced quality of life. So based on these given inputs, even our neurologists, neurosurgeons are giving and having the pilot projects and establishing their facts and serving the mankind. Researchers are exploring how the gut microbiome interacts with the enteric and central nervous system, revealing that the gut bacteria and their byproducts can influence mood, cognition, and behavior, according to Alan M. Goldstein. Kyle Steller is studying how abnormal body image and eating disorders in adolescents can increase the risk of developing, you can say, so many introgenic behavioral, you can say, symptoms and other gastrointestinal issues in adulthood, as these patients may misinterpret normal digestive sensations and abnormalities also. This is very important flow chart exploring gut-brain connections. Of course, I told you what are the transmitters or transmittancy mechanism which is passing the important signals derived from the microbiota and reaching to the brain and setting the mindset. You can see so many glands are very much regulated by the brain and its command. And under the category of A, factors influencing microbiota compositions like diet, environment, antibiotics, aging, probiotics, exercise, mode of delivery, stress. So in this flow chart, you can segregate in, or you can classify in two ways, biotic as well as the abiotic inputs. So based on these biotic and abiotic inputs, the mouse model, that is guinea piggy, is in the clinical research. People used to give the kind of the first trial and assess the behavioral facts of the brain. That is the impact of microbiota on brain physiology. Germ-free mouse, it means this mouse is not having any germ, is not having any infection. Of course, myelination is saying that increased expression of gene and myelination in the prefrontal cortex. Let me tell you, gene, of course, my audience are very much qualified and they're coming from the little bit biological background. So gene is nothing, it is the set of the sequence and posted for a particular purpose. Brain is also following the same central dogma and triggering the specific command with the help of the genetic expression. That is very important. Microalgia and neuroinflammation. It's a different type of the moderation. Altered microglial gene profile with altered cell proportion and immature phenotype. So with the different you can say experimentation types, people have decoded the languages of brain, how it perceives and how microbiota influences the programming of brain, that is mindset. So blood-brain barrier, of course, fluidic system is also very important signals carrier or barrier both. So if you are doing unwanted trafficking, you can say between the microbiota as well as the brain, then symptoms arrived. So this is the neurogenesis, means the set of the genes those are behind between the neurological programming and neurotonic programming. So increase in hippocampal and amygdala volume, that is very important. So the structure of brain is very much fragile, becomes very much fragile, and you are fiddling with the given inputs. That is why one has to be very much careful. Of course, in order to further research and understanding, people have experimented with this alpha synuclein. Of course, it is very much nucleic acid, nucleus oriented programming. That is very important thing. So under C category, microbiota gut-brain axis saying, of course, this small intestine digestive system is very much, you can say, under the command of the brain, of course, with a different with the help of the different gland system like pituitary system, which controls our neurotonic system, NTS, and then creates the proximity. Of course, then eventually the level of the oxygen in the body mass, antimicrobial activities in the body mass, pH level of the blood and its mass, and the anaerobic bacteria population load, that is very important, and bacterial load, and of course we can say it is the count, and this count is very much disturbed according to the given terms and conditions. So when person is very much at the juvenile stage, then everything is very much in the program until unless any genetic interferences are not arriving. So this is the summary of the entire talkativity between the brain and the microbiota with the established organic system and the organelle system. So the gut-brain axis is a complex communication network between the gastrointestinal tract and the central nervous system, influencing physiology and its behavior. Recent research highlights that gut microbiota role in these interactions, suggesting it may manipulate vagus nerve signaling to affect brain function and behavior. Vagus system is very robust kind of the you can say collagen of the brain research program. So neural communication is very important parameter in this thing. The gut and CNS communicate through the vagus nerve, which transmits signals between the brain and gut. So you have to mind it. Affecting vagus system, you have to understand at the intricacy level. Affecting digestion's mood and overall health. Gut microbiome, trillions of bacteria in the gut produces neurotransmitters. Let me tell you, the population of the microbiota in your gut is infinite, and of course its biofilm is very much delicate, and it gets changed with your established metabolic processes. That is very important, and it decides the fate of the brain functioning and impacting your mood, cognition and behavior parameter. Hormonal signal, another important intermediates that is very important and connects the external as well as the internal, extrinsic and the intrinsic, you can say extrinsic and intrinsic interactions is very complicated pathways that we know as the signal transduction pathway. The gut releases hormones like ghrelin and leptin that send signals to the brain, influencing appetite, stress responses and emotional regulation. So you can see how these hormone signals are being, you can say, released by the gut microbiome. Immune system interactions. The gut associated lymphoid tissues interacts with the central nervous system, contributing to immune response that can affect brain health and functions. Of course, it's inflammatory, or you can say inflammation behavior, that wherein gut health can influence systematic inflammations, which has been linked to various neurological conditions and mood disorders. Psychological impact overall, this is the interface. Conditions like irritable bowel syndrome illustrate how gut issue can lead to anxiety and depressions, highlighting the bidirectional nature of the gut brain. So overall, this slide is trying to convey the message how these two components are very integral to each other, and of course gut microbiota is having its own entity kingdom. They do not listen the command of the brain, but brain is somehow having the UPS system of this microbiota and deciding the fate of your health. So vagus nervous and gut communication, I have told you vagus nervous is one of the 12 cranial nervous and plays a crucial role in the autonomic nervous system. It extends from the brain stem through the neck and into the chest and abdomen, and innervating various organs including the heart, lungs and digestive tract. Vagus nerve and gut communications refers to the signaling pathway between the vagus nerve and the gastrointestinal tract. So it is facilitating the exchange of information between the gut and the brain. This communication influences various functions including digestion, emotional regulation and overall health, highlighting the interconnectedness of the gut and central nervous system. Here this is the pathways trying to portray the theory, not hypothesis, theory, it's an established theory, vagal different. Vagal different, I have already explained you, it's very much signifying in the color of purple, and that is very much based on the cytokinin, just like abscisic acid dependent pathway, cytokinin dependent pathway, and of course mediator is there, vagal activations via microbes, neuroendocrinal mediators. Similarly, this vagal efferent is very much in the green. It means it is giving the inhibitory feedback system, and this one is very much progressive feedback system, that is signifying in the green. And the non-neural system, of course, certain kind of the central peripheral system, neural peripheral system is also very much dictated with the given terms and conditions, and ultimately your entire, so you can see this particular animation that shows the kind of the of course I am trying to explain this process is very significant. Anyway, this time it is not being opened, so next time I will come up with the readily available animation so that it can. Thank you so much for your kind attention.